If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, and new
acknowledge us.
Hey, guys, we're here at the Red Carpet Ring. We'll talk about WWE NXT Vengeance Day, new mystery faction debuts, join Grayson NXT. Let's get the likes as we come into the ring. We are going to talk about Vengeance Day tonight. That was on the Peacock. Let's look at the match card, shall we, for this particular PLE, the first PLE of the year on Peacock. So we had actually not 1, 2, 3, but 4 championships defended tonight. We had first off the Women's North American Championship, Fallon Henley versus Stephanie Vaquer, or Vaquer, how you pronounce her name. You guys know what I mean. And we later had the NXT Tag Team Championship match, Roxanne versus Briggs and Inamura. And we also had later on a strap match between Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe, regular standard match of Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. And then later on, we had the NXT Championship triple threat. Oba Femi defended the title against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. In the main event, we had a 4-way for Giulia to defend her NXT Women's Championship against Bayley, Roxanne, Perez, the previous champion, and Cora, Jade. Let's get on to it. Let's talk about the results of the show. All right, the first match we had was Fallon Henley versus Stephanie Vaquer. This was a very good match between these two. We saw a lot of technicality between these two, which was great. I will say too that Fallon Henley held her own. There was parts in the match where it was interference from Fatal Influence, JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. Stephanie Vaquer got both of them down. I like Fallon Henley. She had some good moves in there. She was smooth in the ring. Fallon Henley's been getting better in the past. Ever since she won that title, a little before she won that title, she's been good in the ring. She's been training. And I'm not saying it because she wrestled Stephanie, she had the title. But, Stephanie Vaquer, it's going to be hard to keep her down. She definitely did her thing. And she was not going to be denied of that championship, which was great because I love the way that she is in the ring. Stephanie Vaquer is very, very technical. I love that too. And since she worked hard and did everything she could, she just couldn't be stopped. And we saw women like in the stands watching. We saw that as well. But other than that, Stephanie is your brand new Women's North American Champion. So great victory for Stephanie. And this is her first championship in WWE. She's the first South American born to win this championship. So that right there is a fun fact as well. So I'm very happy with that. But she definitely put in the work. Well deserved. Congratulations to Stephanie. I know that, she says she will later on keep an eye out on the women's main event, which she did. And the women's main event we know is the NXT Women's Championship match. So we're gonna definitely keep an eye on. She's gonna keep an eye on that, despite winning the championship. So it was a good event though. Very, very good way to kick off the show. And during the match, we did see a few faces that's potential challengers for the brand new champion. We saw people like Jordynne. And we also saw women like Carmen Petrovic, who were sitting in the stands during the match. If you guys there don't remember, so good for Stephanie. She got some people waiting on her. Kalani's the first ever champion. So next match we have is the NXT Tag Team Championship. Oh man, Fraxium, they never fail to deliver. And they did just that. Now Josh Briggs and his tag team partner, which is Yoshiki and Inamura, if I said that correctly, if I didn't, excuse me. They came very close to winning. In Inamura, I'm very impressed with his work. Josh Briggs definitely got better. And this is one of the best matches of the night. I love the Spanish Fly Axiom planted on Inamura. But I loved it though. The crowd was really into this match. But at the end of the day, during the NXT Tag Championship match, Fraxium can't deny him of retaining the belts, and they are the winners and still the NXT Tag Team Champions. So congratulations to Fraxium for retaining. And then we also had strap match. This is Trick Williams versus Eddie Thorpe. This was going on for quite some time back when Trick Williams was the NXT champion. Eddie Thorpe challenged him for that belt. Now, this was a surprisingly a good match as well. It was not a bad match. One of the best Trick matches for both of them. It was a good story. The strap match told a lot. Trick Williams had gained early advantage in this match. He definitely was giving it to Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe came back. He got some good offense on Trick. Trick hit the trick shot. Eddie fell out the ring. Then he dragged Eddie back in, and Eddie had his own little trick shot. But they made each other look good. That's what I liked about this match. And surprisingly, my original prediction was Trick was going to win because he needed a big win following his loss of the NXT Championship. But Eddie Thorpe won, and I do not disagree with this decision. This helped build him up too. So this is very good of him. Him and Trick Williams did their thing. Let's move on to other parts of the show we saw in between before we get later on the matches. Now we did see during the match of we did see in between backstage the return of Ariana Grace, who's been on TNA. If you watch TNA, she's been on that show. Santino showed up, so she was there as well. So she's back. I know she's had an injury, so I think she's going to be back on the NXT show. Not so much on the TNA show like she was before. And I don't know if we're going to see Santino on WWE TV. So you've seen him on TNA. He's the deputy. But this was a good backstage moment. So it's good to see her back. Also, another thing to mention, in between, we do have Ricky Starks. He did announce that he is going to sign his NXT contract this upcoming Tuesday on the upcoming episode of NXT. So he is definitely going to be a good addition to the brand, as well as others as well. But with that, we're going to move on to the next match before we get to the main events. We do have we do have one match that we're talking about, a one-on-one match between Ethan Page and Javon Evans. These guys was going to be going at it. Javon Evans came in with a mouthpiece. Ethan Page came out for blood. Javon Evans came out for redemption. And both these guys did just that. Javon had some good spots in the match. He was flying. He was limping on one leg. Ethan Page did a good job working on his leg throughout the match. He OG. He flies. That's his gimmick of Javon Evans. He's bouncy, as his theme music says. But he kept up the pace. He sold the injury very well. Very good selling through Javon Evans. But he came back and he gave some good offense to Ethan Page. Got some near falls. But Ethan Page, he just so relentless, man. So he came back, in the major turning point of the match is when he hit Javon Evans in his mouth, selling the injury that he caused him to get stitches in his mouth. The mouthpiece fell out. Ethan hit his finisher. That was it. There was some near falls where Ethan hit the Ego's edge. And there was some near falls with Javon. The winner of this match is Ethan Page, all ego. So expect him and Javon Evans to have another match. This feud is far from over. Javon will run that back and have another match with him. Now let's get to the championship matches. We first have the NXT Championship match. Oba Femi defend the title against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, triple threat style. Early on, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory worked on Oba. They tag team to beat him up. And after Oba was down, these two finally went face to face. They was attacking each other. They both want to be the NXT champion, despite them being in a tag team. You know, you can tell with the entrance, they both look at each other. You know, like they both want the gold. But they did well, and we know Oba Femi does very well in triple threat matches. So anytime you hear Oba Femi in a triple threat match, especially as champion, you're gonna get like Sheamus, banger after banger after banger. And this match was no different from that. This was a banger after banger as well. And I like how at one part in the match, um, Theory had Oba Austin Theory had Oba Femi on his shoulders. Oba Femi, you know, Grayson Waller was going to at the top. He caught Grayson Waller for a suplex, and then all three fell to the mat. That was a great spot in that match. Very, very good spot. I enjoyed that as well. But this was a very good one. Very good one. But I like too that Oba Femi came back. He dragged Grayson Waller outside. Now, turn on this match, Austin Theory hit the A-Town down on Oba Femi. He always had three, but Grayson Waller pulled the ref out the ring. So that did not go sit well with Austin Theory. And as Grayson Waller was coming in, he hit the roll-up stunner. He ended up getting Austin Theory stuff over. Oba moved out the way. Then Oba hit the fall for Grace on Grayson Waller, pinned him, and retained his NXT Championship. So the winner is still champion, Oba Femi. He's still your champ. But let's get on to the main event of the show. Let's let everybody know why we are here. Four-way, Giulia, Roxanne, Bayley, Cora, Jade. Say no more. These four women will play very well off each other. Very well. We similar to Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, Cora, Jade, and Roxanne just went at it. They wasn't playing awkwardness. The announcers really played off that. We saw Giulia and Bayley get into it. So this was a solid match. It looked like the star of this match, MVP was Cora. Cora had got Roxanne for a near fall. She had got Bayley at one point. Roxanne hit the pop rocks on Bayley outside the ring. But Giulia came in after what Cora did. She hit the Ariba Dirt Sheet on both Roxanne and Cora. Then she hit the Northern Lights landing, Northern Lights fall, whatever that move is called. The suplex type of move. You guys know what I mean by that. But I will say this. It was a good story. We know Bayley wasn't going to win. She's on Raw. She got a program. She's in Elimination Chamber. She qualified for that match. Roxanne Perez got a qualified match on Raw this upcoming Monday. This was pretty much her send-off match. This will be the final match you see Roxanne Perez on NXT. She may have farewell this upcoming Tuesday, but as far as Roxanne being on matches for NXT and PLEs, it's a wrap. And Cora Jade, she got a bright future ahead of her. And Giulia retained her championship. She's still champion. She hit the Northern Lights on Roxanne. She pinned Roxanne, and that's it. Now, she will go on to celebrate, with her championship retaining. Also, we saw Stephanie. She also celebrate retaining her belt. So it was a good look. Very, very good look. It's that everyone talked about in the past year. Giulia, who was in Stardom. Also, Stephanie, who was in Stardom. And Stephanie was in AEW. She was actually the strongest champion before losing to Mercedes Moné in AEW. They also had an event tonight too. But other than that, though, it was good that these two women, they walked out championships. And I know after the match with Giulia, after she did go ahead and retain her belt, Stephanie came out. She came out and she came out with her title. And then you saw these two together, standing tall in the ring, which they did. It's a good look of both of them, of Stephanie and Giulia on their belts. So it's a good look. But that's until then. Until then. And what I mean by that is we thought it was over, and then somebody music hit as I thought they would. No other than former TNA talent, former knockout women's champion Jordynne Grace makes her return to NXT. She comes out. Music hit. Everybody was liking that. They was happy she came out, which was solid. It's not surprising that she showed up. I kind of figured she wouldn't be on the main roster right away because I think NXT is a good fit for her. Other than that, though, at the end of the day, we saw these three women standing in the ring. All three of them were standing, and Jordynne pretty much is going to, at some point, she's going to be challenging one of these champions of Stephanie, and definitely Giulia for that championship. So that's what it comes to at the end of the day. It comes to that, and that's what closed out the show of all three of these women standing. Other than that, though, this was good. And she says you'll see her Tuesday, so we will see Jordynne again.
See you on Tuesday.
And that's it. That's all for NXT. This is everything that happened. We will talk about the new faction. I didn't forget about that. They came out twice during the night. They came out after the NXT Tag Team Men's Championship match. That's the first time we saw them. I know one of the men is Dion Lennox, the other man, I can't remember. I think they came from NXT Level Up. So this was well thought out too. The whole invasion, like the Shield, Nexus, Retribution, but better. Not like Retribution, more like Shield and Nexus type. But this was very good. It came out, and the second time it came out was doing Oba Femi after he retained his NXT Championship, which he's laying on the ground there. Another good moment for NXT. NXT was just on fire tonight. I mean, look at all the moments that happened on this show tonight. Very good moments here. But let's get to the rating. What do I give this show of NXT Vengeance Day? Man, it's inevitable. 5 out of 5. Great, amazing show. I will say not only was it 5 out of 5, probably the best Vengeance Day of NXT brand of all time. I've watched Vengeance Day back in 23. I watched 24 last year, 25. This is the best one. Normally it's a 5-match standard card. It was 6 matches, 4 titles defended. Now that we didn't see the North American Championship defended, but that was defended on NXT that past episode. And also the Heritage Cup one defended because that was also defended on the past NXT episode. So they did their thing. I have no problem with this show. I don't even see where the show went wrong. I mean, we didn't see a few people like Lola Vice. Still haven't seen her. I thought she was gonna come out tonight or show her, but they didn't. But this was good though. You guys let me know what you think of the show. The show was amazing tonight. Very good, amazing show tonight. But other than that though, you guys let me know what you think. That's all I have regarding the show. We're talking about NXT Vengeance Day, new mystery faction debuts. We come out twice during the night, making their presence felt. We got the Ricky Starks about to sign his contract. Jordynne Grace returns. And we also had return from Ariana Grace. And we had some unpredictable match finishes. But other than that, guys, click the 2 links below. Until then, guys, you already know what it is. OUT.
Something happened this weekend. And I have been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, It was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and